Welcome back to this week's weekly roundup of We Hold These Truths. I'm Paul Fagan from the McCain Institute. I'm joined by Luke Engelbert. Hey, Luke, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. We wanted to start off talking about things we actually didn't put on our We Hold These Truths hub. There were two major events that took place. One is the Trump administration's brokered peace deal between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. This is a historic deal and one that is a big thing.
The other thing that we wanted to talk about on this week's weekly roundup is that Joe Biden announced that Kamala Harris will be his vice presidential running mate in the 2020 general election. This sets the final ballots for November for both Republicans and Democrats. So regardless of your political affiliation, something to keep an eye on.
Yep, it's a historic choice choosing Kamala Harris as first African American and Asian American to be on a major party ticket.
Exactly. So the first thing that we talked about on We Hold These Truths this week was we explained the difference between mail-in voting and absentee voting, and also showed how both methods are still secure methods of casting your vote in November.
Next, we talked about Belarus and its fraudulent election over the weekend. Belarusians have taken to the street by the thousands all week, and the movement hasn't stopped.
Next, we talked about China's recent sanctions of 11 U.S. officials, including several U.S. senators and other prominent members or other prominent leaders of U.S.-based human rights advocacy organizations.
And then finally, we talked about Russia and its rush to get a COVID vaccine to market. Not much vigorous testing has been done on this vaccine, so a lot of questions remain.
Exactly. All right, so that wraps up this week's weekly roundup of We Hold These Truths. As we continue to head towards the November election, we will start to pivot a lot of our news to cover election material and how you can get involved. We thank you for joining this week's weekly roundup. We hope you stay safe, and we hope to see you next week.
Have a good weekend.